Hey everybody, we all here? Every comment say you can see me. Anybody else out there? I'm gonna have to be honest with you. They came in and gave me an Oxycontin or something, and I'm feeling a little spacey right now. So if this starts to get weird, you are required to shut this off. Okay? I wish I could see through this screen and see you guys. I appreciate you so much. You guys have been so wonderful with your emails and your texts, your cards. I just you guys have been great. Thank you for that. I really wanted to try to be with you last Sunday, but there was just no way. I was too sick. But thank you for your patience with me, and I'm gonna be back, but it's gonna be a while. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do this, but um, I'll tell you what happened. I hope you can all hear me. This is kind of a weird setting. There's a lot of noise in the hallway. Um, I Friday I started to feel bad actually last week, and then on Friday I really started to feel terrible, and I got a horrendous pain in my side, and it was getting worse and worse. By Friday night, Susan took me over to the ER. We were trying to have supper. I couldn't eat. I was just too sick. Took me over to the ER, and they ran some tests, and as is normal with adhesions, they didn't find anything because they never do. They said it was some kind of a muscular or skeletal injury, and they gave me some morphine, and that took the edge off, obviously, and they sent me home. Saturday, I felt pretty bad. I tried to shrug it off, and I just couldn't. By Sunday morning, I knew there was no way I was going to make it to church. I hadn't slept at all. I hadn't eaten in a day and a half, and I just couldn't. So I went down to the church. Humongous, gigantic thank you to Toby and Phil for standing in for me. I printed off the sermon and left it, and those guys did a great job with very little notice. Sounded great, you guys. Thank you so much, and to Leah and Daryl for taking care of things. I appreciate it. Services were great. I've watched them a couple times this week, and it was just good to see you guys. And so I went to St. Mary's Hospital again for the second time. Then about 4:30 on Sunday morning, and they ran the test again. Luckily for me, it was the same emergency room doctor. I don't remember his name, but it was the same guy. He said, "You're back again," and I said, "Yeah, it's bad." And they did another CT scan, and he said, well, based on what I saw on Friday night when we took the first one and this one, he said, "We're sending you straight to Columbus." So they had the ambulance come and took me straight to Columbus, and they started running tests from there. They weren't sure what they were going to do. It was just getting worse. They seemed to thought that they could have handled it with just medication and some treatments, but that wasn't working. By Tuesday, I thought I was going to die, and when the doctor finally came to see me, I asked him. I said, "Am I going to die?" And the doctor said, "Not if I can help it." And so they were trying to get to an OR, but apparently something happened in Columbus on Tuesday. Maybe you know more about that than me, but they couldn't get me to an OR until 9:30 that night. I laid on the floor. I rolled around. I tried to hang from a thing in my room, anything to get relief because the pain was terrible. And they finally took me down to the operating room, and it was after 10 o'clock, I think, on Tuesday night, and they put me under. The surgery took about 3 hours, and they took out a lot of scar tissue. I was a mess. They said essentially what had finally happened was there was a piece of my bowel that got there was a piece of scar tissue that was a piece of my bowel actually wrapped around the scar tissue. I would never recommend doing that. It's pretty awful. And I got everything cleaned out and taken out and put me back together. I woke up in it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or something in recovery. I already felt better. Um, they've been doing a regimen of pain medicine, and I've been keeping things under control, but I feel a lot better now. I had a tube up my nose which is why I wasn't going to do a live stream until that was out. I had it there from Sunday until about 3 hours ago. I haven't eaten anything since last Friday. So this is a crash diet I wouldn't recommend to anyone. But it seems like everything's going to work out okay. I'm going to be all right. So I appreciate your prayers. And I'm sorry, I don't take medicine very well. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Thank you to Phil, who's going to step up and do a great job. You're going to hear a couple of sermons from him over the next couple of weeks. The good Lord willing, if I can get out of here, I think I may be discharged tomorrow, depending on what happens. I may be able then to come home. And if I can, I'll be at least at Awaken on Sunday. I won't do anything, obviously, but I'll be there, I hope, and see all you guys. But thank you for your prayers, and I'm a lot better now than I was 2 days ago. So it's been a rough ride, but the doctors are confident. One of the things that they said was the thing that saved me was the fact that I knew what it was before they did. Because if I hadn't insisted, they would have continued to treat the muscular skeletal thing, because but I knew it wasn't. And they said because they got to it as quick as they did, there was no damage or disease to my intestines. And they said that probably saved my life, because they wouldn't have been able to treat that. So everything was healthy. There wasn't even much inflammation because we were early on in the process. But it looks like everything's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be a little less of myself for a while. But it seems like everything's gonna be okay. So I wanted you all to know that I'm okay. It's gonna be a long road, but I'm gonna walk it, and it's not something I wished would happen, but certainly not. But it did, and here we are, and we're all going to be better for it. So if you guys have any questions or anything that you want to ask, you can jump in the chat and ask those things or whatever. I know I'm going to go back and read all these comments later, but I'm kind of medicated right now, so I can only do one thing at a time. But yeah, so I hope to be out of here tomorrow, but I don't know. It might not be till Saturday, but either way, I'm going to try to, if at all possible, to be at least in Awaken on Sunday. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So sorry, that was a little more emotional than I had planned for it to be, but just know you can still contact me by my phone or email. I obviously have my computer down here with me, but I don't look to be here too much longer. So yeah, somebody sent me on Facebook that you guys are having tornadoes in St. Mary's. Guys, I've only been gone a week. What in the heck are you doing? I mean, I thought you could have done better than that without me for just a week. I mean, what's going on? So, is that true? Are there tornadoes in St. Mary's tonight? Or did I just fever dream that? Because that very well could have been too. It could have been giant elves in St. Mary's too. I have no idea. I had a dream earlier today because of all this medicine I was on. I had a dream that I was trying to park my car, and my dad crashed into my car and pushed it into the lobby of a building. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I've been dreaming. Don't ever take narcotics. They're really bad for you. No tornado. It's just cold air funnels. Thank you, April. So, all right, good. I'm glad to hear that because I'd really be mad if I didn't have a house to go back to. I'm just saying. So, all right. Anybody want to ask any questions or anything? I really don't want to go. Mitch Marshall. Holy cow! Is it Mitch Marshall from 100 years ago? He's my. I went to school with him. Mitch, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for your prayers, man. I hope things are going well for you. Gosh, we haven't talked in forever. So, how about that? Well, Phil's going to be leading services this week, and he told me, and he's not he doesn't have to do this, but he said he's going to continue the Moses sermon series. But I just want to be real clear. I didn't get to finish the sermon series on Moses, so I get another try at it because I want to be able to finish it because the story's so good. I'm sure Phil is going to just do a bang up job on this, but I want a chance to finish a sermon series on Moses. And since I didn't get to, I reserve the right to do it again. And not anytime soon, but sometime. I miss all of you. Honestly, as bad as I felt on Sunday, not being in church with you guys was the worst. What's the view out my window? I don't know if I know how to run it. Oh, here it is. Here, I'll show you my view out the window. Beautiful, huh? Looks like that's the reflection of my bed there, you can see, but so all right, everybody. Thank you so much. No, Daryl, I don't have any Batman down here with me. When I left, I grabbed my wallet and because I had my insurance card and my phone, and that's basically all I made it here with. So please keep praying for me and keep me in your prayers. Feel free to drop me messages. I'm trying to respond to things now that I have faculties about me a little more and I don't have a bunch of needles sticking out of me now. I can run my phone a little better, so I'll be happy to respond to texts and whatever as much as I can. And email's a little harder for me because I got to get on the computer to do that. But yeah, if you want to text or whatever, I'd be happy to hear from you. And I got plenty of Batman at home, Joe. So, all right. Yeah. So, all right, folks. I probably need to cut this off because they're gonna come in and test me for something, I'm sure. Oh, by the way, I do want you to know one of the first things they did when they brought me in is tested me for COVID-19, and I was negative. So there is that. All right, guys. Hey, yeah, I haven't eaten since last Saturday, and I didn't have much on Saturday. They're thinking about possibly giving me a little something tomorrow. I am in Trent. I am in the OSU Medical Center. I'm on the 8th floor. I'm in room 8. What is it? 830. I moved rooms. They're working on the. There's a funny story. They're working on the call. You know, when you're in the hospital, you got the call light, the little thing, and you push the button, and the nurse comes find out what you want. They're working on that on this floor where I'm at. And by the way, this floor I'm on, they couldn't find a room for me forever, so they had to put me on the brain and spine wing. So everybody up here has like major the brain and spine center injuries, except for me. So I feel like kind of the odd guy out here, but this is the only place they could get me in. But they're working on the call lights on this floor, and they none of the nurses know how to use them. So at about 3:00 this morning, I had some nurses in here trying to figure out how to turn off the call light, and I was doing a training session because I'd watched the other nurses do it, try to help the people figure out the call system. So You know, when you're in pain and high and you're explaining electronics to people, I don't know how much sense I made. I'm not even sure I was helpful, but it made me feel good to do something. So yeah. What other hospital is there in Columbus? Oh, there's Mount Carmel, and there's um, the big Methodist hospital down here. And uh, this is where I came last time. I had this. I had this back in 2011, and it was where they brought me then too. This one was a little worse, I think, than that one. So, Michelle, I wish I could see your face too, because you know you are my seventh favorite person. Is Forest Park having VBS tonight, Michelle? So, Cool Hand Luke, I'm not gonna be sick for everybody. You're gonna pay for that comment. I know, Anna Kay. I know that was a joke. So, oh, good. Forest Park is having VBS. So, yeah, I'm missing my nephew Jake. Y'all know how my nephew Jake, my mini, his birthday is today. So, a little bit ago, they called on Zoom, so we could all sing happy birthday to him, and all my family was there, and I was down here. We were saying happy birthday, and he was all excited, and and my sister said to Jake, says, "Hey, you want to say something to Uncle Tim?" And he's like, "No, I want to have some cake." That boy's cut out of my mold, I'll tell you. So, oh, Jake, are you here watching, buddy? Hi, Jake. So, no, my sense of humor was not affected. So my laugh may have been, because laughing is like, turning myself in two, but uh, my sense of humor is there. Yeah, Jake turned 6 today. He's a big 6-year-old, and he had cake, and he got to go to the splash pad, and he had Dairy Queen, so he's having a great day. So, all right, well, I don't want to keep droning on here. No, Beth, I know I'm not alone. I have known that since this whole ordeal started. So, and 65 of you came out tonight just to hear what I had to say, and I appreciate that. Yeah. So, all right, very good. Well, you guys all know I love you very much. I appreciate you more than I could ever tell you. You guys at Wayne Street have had some incredible pastors through the years, some very talented and wonderful, well-spoken, articulate pastors who have done great things and gone on to do great things. But I'll tell you, you have not ever had a pastor who loves you more than this one, and I appreciate you so much for how wonderful you've been through all this, and I look forward to being back in your good graces very soon. So just hang in there with me. I'll do the best I can to try to keep you updated on what's happening with me, and the good willing, I'll be there with you at least for Awaken on Sunday. So you guys have a great evening. Keep praying for me. Don't be afraid to drop me a text and just say hey, and I love hearing from you. So I guess my normal sign off from these live streams is probably now more important than ever, but it's still good advice. I love you all very much. And go wash your hands.